Guys, did you just know that I just found out how much 5 ounces of wine is? I have been drinking my wine like right up to here, and that explains a lot of the weight gain because alcohol calories are real. See, I'm still tempted to want to just top it up a little, but I'm gonna go for it. Like that. And I am the Diet Gourmand, and this is the show where I always encourage you to find a dietary lifestyle that helps you live your best life. I have been looking at this but you know what, this is a real cooking show. I've been looking at my monitor. I'm not gonna edit it out because that took a while to say, but like I was saying though, I am serious. I want you to live your best life, and I want you to find a diet that allows you to do so. So what did we say here? Cook delicious things, make them as healthy as possible, and live it at that. So what are we cooking today? Chili. Yes, I have some leftover ground chicken, and I was having some Wendy's the other day, and I'm eating like and then I went to go and look at the nutrition information, only to find out that no, it doesn't align with my health management goals at the moment. Now, chili is one of the healthiest things you can eat at Wendy's, okay? However, for if you are following what I am following, which is 100 grams of fat and carbohydrates per day, it's easy to rack it up if you have a Wendy's chili. So I'm not doing that. I decided that I love chili. I like having it as a snack. So what I'm going to do is make my own. Why not? But anyways, what we're doing in the beginning was checking in. How are you? No, seriously, how are you? You okay? You hanging in there? I want you to be okay. You have to do whatever it takes to be okay. There is only one life, and you have nobody else except yourself but you to live it. So do whatever it takes to be okay. Therapy is one of them. Talking to your friends is another. Sitting down and doing the shadow work is another. And also just taking an analysis of your life and find out what it is that is causing your pain. If it's something you can't do anything about, like your parents, I totally understand. Wait till you get older and you will be out of that house, I promise. But if it's something you can do something about as an adult, then do something about it. I do want you to be okay. So here is to being okay. It took me a long time, but I am finally here at being okay. So cheers. You can't have a chili without onions, so let's get to it. Yes, this is part of the onions that I've had since time immemorial. Yes, from 2022. You know, child, I think I already told you, I was really busy in 2022. You know, part of trying to be okay. A lot was happening in 2022. For everybody too, but listen, we'll talk about 2020 another time. But right now, I was really busy 2022, and so I wasn't cooking much. This onion has been lingering around since then. Some of them have been around so long, you see that they've already sprouted and are giving me green onions. That's how long I had them. But you know, onions is one of those things that you can keep around literally forever, as long as you have them in the right environment where they will sprout on you. Potatoes is another one that you can keep around for quite a while. So you don't need to have it as a fine dice because again, it's going to be cooked for a long time. And just move it to the side. Again, this is a real cooking show. Things are gonna fall everywhere. Words are gonna move. If you want a more stylized show, you can always follow me on my socials, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and also my monthly shows that I have on my website. So that is that for the onion. Now we gotta get some celery in there. I know there are a lot of celery haters, but let me tell you something. Celery has a note that cannot be replaced. For you complete celery haters that cannot abide sight, scent, or smell of celery, leave it out. For those of you that it's actually the raw thing that bothers you versus the actual flavor where you can detect it no matter where you hide it. If I were cooking for Ronaldo in the anime, yes, I watch anime and a lot of it too. The Vampire Dies in No Time, extremely very funny anime. Please watch it. If I were cooking for him, I would definitely leave celery out because the merest hint of it makes him throw up. If it's not the sight that bothers you, but more of the raw taste that bothers you, then I would say don't chop it in there, okay? Just put the whole thing in there, like cut it into two and put it in the pot, and that's all. When the chili is ready, you can just fish it out and throw it away, you know? But like I said, celery has a depth that cannot be duplicated, you know? Especially for soups and stews and stuff like that. You know, leaving it out, you're just doing yourself a disservice. But anyway, here we go. And once again, since celery does not bother me, I don't need a fine mince. This, chopped up like this, is more than okay. So we've got our celery and we've got onions. The next thing we gotta have is, of course, diced tomatoes, tomato sauce, black beans. No, I'm not making with kidney beans because I just don't have any. It has nothing to do with personal preference or anything. It's just what I have in hand, and all beans are good in my book. So, and I also enjoy black bean chili, so why not? Some chili seasoning. I made some pork roast the other day. This is the drippings from it. You do know that pork and beef, well, of course you know that. So this is going to be like mwah. And of course, some additional black pepper just in case the packet doesn't have enough. And some leftover ground chicken that is, I am pretty sure, almost, well, it's chicken breast, so it's almost fat free. So what we're gonna do now is start our stoves and get to cooking. And I'll be using this canola spray because again, I'm trying to keep the fat as low as possible. Man, with 100 grams of fat a day, it racks upon you pretty quickly. I did not realize how much fat I was eating until I started to take stock. But anyways, because I started to keep count is why I've been able to whittle down this waistline. Because remember I told you as soon as I get my therapy together, get my head together, all right? And get my heart together, right? And also get my body together. I'm coming for you, bitches. We are coming for you. I'm kidding. But anyway, spray with this. Alrighty. Oh, that pot is a little too hot, but here we go. And then spray it again. And then we're gonna just stir it. We're gonna spray it again just to get it nice and coated. You know, at this point, I don't think it's gonna matter if I add a little bit of fat from the stock. So since it's gonna go in there anyways, let me scoop a little bit off the surface. Actually, all of it off the surface. What am I doing? This is where you gotta call in your cooking sensibilities to help you. Since I was going to leave that fat in there anyways, because again, fat equals fullness, I don't want to completely defat it since it's chicken breast and that has very little fat. I needed to add a little bit of fat anyway so I can stay full outside of the fiber from the beans. So what I should have done is instead of all this, doing all of this, forget about the spray. Unless you want to use it, fine, use it. If you know, try to have skinny taste so that you can have a skinny waist. However, if you don't mind a little bit of fat at all, just put in a little bit of fat from anything. I'm using the one from when I roasted the pork. Using that to brown the onions. You can also use a little bit of butter. You can use a little bit of canola oil, olive oil. Although, when it comes to olive oil, you gotta be careful, you know. If you use extra virgin or any of those really fruity olive oils, it will come through in the food. Now, this is kosher salt. So, and like I told you, kosher salt is not a salty salt. And then now I stand corrected because I have now tasted a salty kosher salt. Morton's, why are you so salty? Like for real, like you're like salty. Did somebody upset you in your past life? Like I don't understand the level of the salt is salting when it comes to Morton's. That's all I can say. Use sparingly, use with a restrained hand. Remember what I said about salt? You can always fix it. You can add more. But when you over salt, ain't shit you can do. Nothing, nada. What I'm gonna do is cover that, reduce the heat, and let it sweat. Okay? What was that song again? I'm gonna make you sweat till you can't sweat no more. And if you cry, I'm gonna push it some more. Hey, shower ranks. Hey, I've been spoiled for a long time. As in, I've known about worldly desires for a long time. But then, hey, I started having sex at 14. You didn't expect to hear that on the show, did you? So yes, I did know what he meant by push it some more. I was about to say, I didn't know what he meant. I did. Because somebody was pushing it some more at that age on me too. But anyways, TMI. I may or may not edit it out. Who knows? But this is where I get to know you guys some more. You get to know me and my past life. All right, now time to add the ground chicken, okay? And that's all we got. And if you're wondering what I made with the chicken, I'm gonna have to make the video of that recipe. It is scrumptious and health management friendly. All right, so now just get in there and start breaking up the chicken in here. It's chicken breast. It dries out. You want the protein to firm up enough so that you can break it into pieces, but not cook through. It's chicken breast. It will dry out on you. Yes, you can use ground up chicken thigh if you can find it. Drain the black beans, but you don't have to rinse them, okay? And yes, you said we just drained it, now you're adding water. Yes, I know. No need to drain because the tomato water adds flavor as a kind of vegetable stock. The pork jus. If you have broth as well, add that first before you start adding any additional seasoning, including the chili seasoning pack, okay? So when it comes to cooking, it's like this, and seasoning. You must know what it is you need to adjust, okay? So take it just layer at a time, which means first is this layer, and this has a lot of seasoning in it. Once I get that in it, turn it around, taste it, I'll find out where I'm at, and then I know what to add and how much. Some of this passata. Yep. Let me get a spoon that I can use to taste. Okay. It is already tasted bomb. It's even to the point where this might even be unnecessary. I said julele at this point now. When I tell you pork, that ham you cooked for Thanksgiving or Easter, save the drippings, freeze it, and put it with beans when you cook them. It is a match made in heaven. Of course, okay, I'm not talking to you vegans or vegetarians. I'm not, okay? So please, don't come into my comments talking about why would no, I'm talking to meat eaters, okay? And I am cooking chili. I never said I was cooking vegetarian chili or vegan chili. So back to regularly scheduled program. Let's add some of the chili. Oh, I put 1 teaspoon of the seasoning packet, and then I'm going to taste it and see where we're at. And this thing is still going to reduce, so this is yum yum. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it to a boil and then simmer it for like so because everything in here is cooked. The beans is cooked, the tomatoes are cooked, the tomato sauce is cooked. It don't need a long time at all. 10-15 minutes you should be all right. And during that time, while it is cooking, we're going to have a cooking chat. And the topic of our cooking chat today is what older women taught me. Stay tuned. We're now at the part of the cooking chat, well, that simmers. So in the next 10 minutes, I hope I'll be able to convey some nuggets of truth and wisdom that older women have taught me in the past. First and foremost, to the older women who nurtured me when I was in my 20s, you are dead and gone, and I miss you, and I thank you. Here's to your everlasting rest in peace. And Mildred, I hope you found Harold. Well, he's gonna be in hell, is it? Anyway. So let's get to it. Secondly, I am very sorry to all of you young women who do not have an older woman in your life to show you the way. Wisdom from older women are indispensable. I am sorry that you only have older people, and I know I keep saying older, but what I'm really talking about is elders or our elders. And I'm sorry that some of you just have buffoons. Older buffoons, actually, in your circle, in your family, or just in your neighborhood, in your environment, that has not imparted any wisdom that would have made your life much easier. I even found out that some older women go out of the way to sabotage younger women. Kini wala ni? What is your problem? You have lived your life. Why do you think these people are in competition with you? Don't you understand that there is a certain composure, and peace to be had for being in our middle age? What I don't even know the Yoruba. What are we struggling? What are we doing tug of war in this life with younger women for and sabotaging with them? You know, as in, you need to send your head for repairs, oh. Okay. Back to what we were talking about. Sorry, because when I think about it, I just erupt. My heart starts to like, excuse me, what did you say? So I am very sorry that these older women have gone out of their way to sabotage you. And even not sabotage, abject negligence. They did not teach you the tricks of life. As you kids call it these days, they did not teach you how to hack life, especially as a woman. This episode is for heterosexual women who are dating heterosexual men. Please, again, disclaimer, because I know how you guys are. This is a conversation for apples. Oranges, you don't need to come and show your face. We are not talking about you. However, if you find something that can be gleaned and useful for you in this conversation, take it with my blessings, but do not come and change the narrative to fit you. I'm not talking to you. These are the advice I have learned from older women that have really helped me. Number one, youth and beauty are assets that should be leveraged. I said what I said, okay?
Aren't you funny? Don't you know that a man being rich is like a girl being pretty? You might not marry a girl just because she's pretty, but my goodness, doesn't it help? And if you had a daughter, wouldn't you rather she didn't marry a poor man?
But
You'd want her to have the most wonderful things in the world and to be very happy. Oh, why is it wrong for me to want those things?
It is easier for you as a 25-year-old to get a 55-year-old sugar daddy than it is for you as a 45-year-old to get a 75-year-old sugar daddy. But I'm not saying that it's impossible. I'm just saying that that age, youth is something, is a powerful thing, okay? And if you have beauty on top of it, leverage the shit out of it. You know what? Because when I leveraged my youth and my beauty, I went farther and quicker in life. I went to places I never would have been able to afford at that age. I did so many things. I had so many experiences. I started businesses. I was given opportunities and education, be it business education or actual college education. Okay. Yes, I was taught that I should not waste my youth and beauty on church rats. Use my youth and beauty for the highest bidder. A la Moulin Rouge, I believe you sent for me. You know? So that's what I did though. I know I do not have any regrets that I used Cyprian means to get quicker to where I needed to be in life. And I had fun doing it. Yes. You know, like that's tweets. What are those things you blow to make wishes come true? They are called sugar daddies. If you like, get yourself one. This one is super important because it saved me. I am sorry that this is gonna hurt some of you. I really am. Sorry that it's gonna hurt some of you. I even have to take a drink to brace myself. Wait 5 years before you procreate with anyone. Within that time, what you need to know, you will know about the person. How they handle bills, if they have integrity. And by the way, for those of you who don't know what integrity means, it means your words and your actions match. Does this person come true for you? Are they responsible, not only in the provision sense, but are they responsible in life? Will they do whatever it takes? Now, I'm not talking about murder, please. Oh. Will they do whatever it takes to make sure that you and the family are okay? Do they just fall apart at the slightest hint of trouble? Or do they rise up to the occasion? Do they have leadership material? The last thing you want is to be hooked up to an omega male or a beta male. And yes, I believe in those classifications. I will tell you why in another video. But at least if you're going to be with a beta male, make sure he is at least has some alpha traits. And if you're going to be with an omega male, make sure that he at least has some dominant traits. And what I mean is, you don't want somebody that just dumps everything on your head. A lot of us are married in name only. We're actually single women in married households. We do everything, including looking after the children. And I mean children, because your husband is now also a children or a child that you are looking after too. So before you are saddled with a toxic person, that's the other thing too. How do they argue? How do they fight? Are they fighting with you as if they're fighting their enemy? Because I've seen marriages where they will fight you as if they're fighting their enemy. It is you versus them, rather than you and them versus the problem. So if you have this toxic person and you are now tethered to them for 18 years, even the rest of your life because you have a child together. When I say I practice that one assiduously, that is why I am 45 years old and I do not have a child, not because I do not want one, but because I have been unfortunate in my selection of men, and I realized by the 3-4 year mark that they were not gonna be good father material. So you repeat that several times, you're gonna get to my age and be childless. Do I regret it? No. If I have a child, I want them to be born in an environment that is nurturing, caring, with loving parents. So please, that 5 years, wait 5 years, was a gem that saved me in many relationships. The third one is, never let a man know how smart you are. I failed that one! I tried it though. I did try it. And yes, I got me one of those ramen. Moneyed, Onassis type money. Now, Did I enjoy being around him? No, because men who require stupid women also are stupid. It wasn't something I enjoyed doing long term. So no, that didn't work for me. But however, is there something to be said about somebody who doesn't, a woman who doesn't mind a stupid man? Why not? If you don't mind a stupid man and he is daddy money bags, just call up your inner simpleton and pretend that you're not as smart as you are, and that way you can run rings around him. You know what? By the time you're cleaning him out, the look on the face will be, he's not going to expect it from you. And besides, another one that I learned, another one that was thought that was similar to that is don't show your whole cards or don't show your whole hand. Always reserve something. Again, I failed miserably at that. I wear my heart on my sleeve and I'm constantly losing my shirt. It's the same thing. I wear my brain on my neck and I'm always losing my neck. But the women who have practiced that, wonderful results. This one is very important. I've learned that the hard way. Unless you have full safety, full emotional safety, and you're in a safe environment with your love, do not speak ill of your exes. I am begging you. Because the more you can tell a guy about how badly you're treated, they're filing it away to know how much you'll tolerate. Very few of them file it away so that they will know how to treat you better. Very few. And the ones that do, please, thank you. At least you're learning. But very few take that as cautionary tale of how to treat you gently, how to treat you better. If anything, a lot of them file it away in their heads to use next time you're in a fight or next time you vituperate about something, they'll wonder what the issue is. Because in your past relationship you took worse, he ain't even done that much shit. Don't speak ill of your exes. What should you say instead? If he was a motherfucking piece of shit, say, we just did not work out because of extenuating circumstances and differences. I wish him exactly what he deserves, and I hope that life will continue to be kind to him as he is as kind to others, you know? But then why did you break up? You know, irreconcilable differences. That's about it. We just had, you know, issues that we could not work out. So that was it. And if they say, oh, you're trying to be mysterious, no, I just don't see the point of wasting my breath and, you know, talking about this person, like, you know. And that's if he's a really bad person. If he's a good person but just had some bad traits that could not be worked out, this is when you should lean harder on his glowing traits, especially if he did wonderful things for you. Oh yeah, he was great, he was kind, he was a sensitive guy, and da 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 da. But once again, irreconcilable differences. There was just some must-haves that I couldn't do without that he just did not have. So yeah, I wish him well, and I hope that he finds somebody that truly matches him. But yeah, we just had to go our separate ways and continue the journey of finding other people that suited us better. That's it for somebody who was really kind to you. But please do not go and do expose on how bad your ex is, because I learned that too. And from listening to other women of how that had been flown in their faces. The final one is this. Always have an exit plan and exit money. Nobody wants anything to happen. Everybody goes into a marriage or a union with great expectations. They go into it with excitement, they go into it with love, they go into it, well, I'm not talking about those people who have wedding jitters and they already knew what they were doing was a bad idea. No, I'm talking with those about going to it with hope for the future, and then they enter the marriage and find out that their dream was a nightmare. Back in the day, dowries were created. Now, this is what I've heard. I haven't researched this, but from what an older woman taught me who was from a dowry, I'm from a dowry culture, but our dowry is practiced in a different way. I'm not gonna go into that. But in her culture, their dowry was practiced, and it's European culture. Their dowry was practiced in a different way. It's money that was given for her, not for him, for her in the marriage. And then she can use it for things like when they fall short, but things like when things go bad or things go south or whatever she is going to find in the marriage, the one thing they shall do not want is that their daughter will suffer because some person was unable to fulfill their end of the bargain. This is in case shit happens, money, and that's hers. If you do not have that bestowed upon you, and by the way, please, let's bring that back. If you're able to, let's move forward with being able to parent better. For those of us that can afford to have stay-at-home daughters, we should also be able to afford to have a dowry set aside in trust for them. In case shit happens, you've gone into this thing with all the hope, all the love, all the in your heart. You now get there and you find out that this man is an asshole. That's number one. And you should remember, a lot of people, especially narcissists, will feed you their asshole 1 teaspoon at a time. They don't give you the whole gallon. Oh, hell no. You would have run away from the beginning. No, they feed it to you 1 teaspoon at a time. So you're going to find out as time goes on that the dream was a nightmare. That's number one. Number two, people fall out of love. Not because you did anything. Not because you did not fulfill your end of the bargain. Not because you guys were still not intimate. No. Somebody just woke up one day and decided that he's now in love with his secretary. Or, well, people don't have secretaries anymore. Personal assistant, maybe you are now being left. And especially if you've been a stay-at-home mom, a stam, you're about to be fucked over 9 ways from hell. Have your exit money and have your exit plan. It's just self-care for your future self. Of course, my hope is that we all stay in our marriages in love and in peace and prosperity. But this is a human life, and human life has upheavals, up and downs. You can never predict what's going to happen. And because of that lack of predictability, you should bring a little bit of predictability by having a plan, by having some money put aside so that when shit goes south, you can go north. Those are the top 5 that I've learned that I feel are very handy. Now, do I have a lot more? Yes, I do. Because like I said, older women taught me a lot. You think that one of them would just teach me one thing? No. Out of conversations, they taught me many things. Because let me tell you something. They took time to learn. Or the things or the mistakes that they watch their aunties make, or the mistakes that they watch their mummies make and all of that stuff, they distill that and pass it on in its clearest form so that you can drink it and go on to live a better life. And I hope with their knowledge you can hack life better. Let's get back to the chili. So the chili's done cooking and I have tasted it, and oh my god. Oh, Becky, look at her pot. I mean, look at this. Let's try this. But my goodness, if you put some cheese on this and some crackers, to white jelly, Lojo tutu, Bogo tutu yan saloni. I know I said that about the beets video, but for real, chili is truly cold weather comfort food. Bogo tutu yan awabi saloni. This is good, and I'm so happy that I can have it to eat throughout the week. I mean, look at the amount. Just look at the amount it made. From such few ingredients, it made quite a bit. Do you see what I'm saying? So this is why I always advocate for knowing how to cook. Like, dare I say, for the same amount that you'd spend to go to Wendy's, you can make a whole pot that would feed you 4 or 5 times more than Wendy's. I'm not talking smack about Wendy's. Please, Wendy's, if you want to sponsor me, I will eat your chilies till the day I die. Okay? We have come to the end of this episode of Cooking with Me in the realest form possible. And as usual, I want nothing more for you than your heart's desires that is good for you. Because it's possible to get what your heart desires, but it's not good for you. So, yes, I wish you peace and I wish you prosperity. Full bellies and full hearts. Thank you for watching this episode of Diagonal Mind. I always appreciate your views. Without you watching them, what am I making content for? The stratosphere! But yes, I really do thank you from the bottom of my heart that you stop by and take the time out of your day, out of your lives, to pay attention to me pitter-patter around in my kitchen, cooking this, cooking that, talking, doing whatever. And you give me that piece of time, and I do not take it for granted. I appreciate you so much, and I hope to see you in another video. Oh yes, I upload Thursdays and Thursdays are when? Even me, I don't know. Catch you on the next one when I upload, okay? This is what I usually say. I love you, but I hate some of you. So I love some of you, and some of you guys are just knuckleheads and I want nothing to do with you. But catch you in another one, okay? Bye.